Welcome to this episode of YouTube. And we're going to start out with Denali in the pack holding area. And Denali again came into retirement on October 16th. He had a bite on his back right paw, but here you can see he's fully supporting weight on it as he jumps and tries to discourage the ravens from perching on some of the cut off trees in the pack holding area. And Grizzer again keeps interest in what Denali does. Sometimes he participates, sometimes he doesn't. We are doing a repeat performance of last week's video. If you look at the date, this is from the 9th, where Grizzer again does a raised leg urination. He's supporting himself, he scrapes the ground, and then he runs, and that results in he and Denali engaging in some tail wagging, chasing, prancing kind of behavior. So we're really happy to see that. Grizzer, just to keep him mobile, and Denali, again, psychologically, it was hard for him to leave the pack. He wasn't deposed, meaning he wasn't kicked out of the pack, and so him stepping out of that enclosure at that time meant that he wasn't quite ready to leave the social group. So we had to make sure he was physically safe, but we now have the responsibility in retirement to make sure that he's psychologically doing well. So we are really happy to see he and Grizzer prancing. Again, look, this is a repeat performance of last Wednesday's video, but they seem to, have a pattern. They like to chase and run, and like I said, for Grizzer, that keeps him mobile. Those back legs, we know that they're old tendons, but the more mobile he is, the better off he is. And I think certainly I like to see that tail wag in Denali. That's a pretty classic Denali behavior, is just pouncing and running. So that's been this week in retirement. So over in exhibit, we definitely see that the snow is covered the ground, but it's not very deep. So there's certainly a lot of things that are laying on the surface that would normally be buried by now. We are feeding extra resources, scraps from deer hunters, including this deer hide that we fed. And there's Grayson shredding that deer hide, and Axel taking some time to chew on that deer hide. So those are just extra, not necessarily food resources. There is a little bit of meat on them, but it's certainly something that gives them an opportunity to occupy their time with just the two of them and not having as much interactions as they would if they were an entire pack. So there's, like I said, Grayson with that deer hide on his bed. So we will be doing a webinar on Thursday, December 17th, called the Winter is Here 2020 webinar, where we're going to feature the retired pack as well as the exhibit pack in a live feed. Sunset, though, is around 4:20, so we'll do the live feed first and show everybody the exhibit, and hopefully we'll have a little sunshine that day so we get that nice light backdrop. And then we'll start featuring what are some of the things that we expect to see in winter. And obviously in this pair of wolves, as Axel and Grayson are demonstrating here, with classic winter seasonal hormones, a little bit more excitement, a little bit more posturing, and certainly Axel being excited, grabbing the tail, showing a T1 tail, meaning his tail is up in the air, a little bit of hackles there, and then the famous chin rest that is a posturing that asserts rank. And you can see here the other thing that you should notice, if you look at Grayson's face, you see that licking, you see that blinking. That is the indication of some stress. And so the stress dictionary is alive and well in wintertime here, making sure that we can identify which animals are maybe having a little bit of an issue with winter rank. So hope to see you on the webinar. Just go ahead and register at wolf.org. If you look under programs and webinars, you'll see the link to not only our webinar this Thursday, but you'll also see the link to the subscription for all of next year's webinars. Thanks for watching.